Come on down to South for your mouth, have some fun with the family. Sit right down and rest a little while, we'll have some coffee or tea. Come to the kitchen, we'll have some fun, we'll cook for our families. Come on down to South for your mouth, we'll treat you like a family. We'll treat you like our family.
Welcome back to South for Your Mouth. Tonight we're going to make a good meal. Got a special guest host here tonight.
Today we're going to be making our favorite dish. It is tilapia served over yellow rice with mixed vegetables. And so today we're going to be starting off with the rice because it takes 25 minutes to cook. We're going to be using Zedarian's yellow rice and we're going to be doubling the recipe. So what we need is we already got 4 cups of water, so we're going to add our 5th cup and we're going to add our butter, which is 2 tablespoons. We're going to let that heat up and then we'll add our rice. Now that we got our water starting to boil with our butter in it, we're going to go ahead and put our rice into the mix. And then we're going to cut the temperature down a little bit and then cover it.
How long will you cook it?
25 minutes.
And you cover it, right?
Yep.
See that pretty rice? Look at the seasonings down in it.
It's going to be really good.
Let us look down in the package before we pour it in this time.
Okay.
Sort of open it. See, it's got seasonings down in it. Oh, it's so good. This is one short step to help dinner get ready quicker.
And then we're going to mix it just to make sure it's thoroughly combined. We're going to turn it down a little bit from medium to medium-low. We're going to cover it.
And so how long we're going to cook it?
25 minutes.
Alright, we'll be back in 25. Our rice is done. I want you to see it before I stirred it. Look down in there. See the peppers and the seasonings in it? Look.
Looks good, Mima.
We're going to let it sit here for a little while. And I'm going to start doing the vegetables. If you look, I've chopped the zucchini and squash and different colors of pepper. And I'm in the process now of chopping the onions. You want just a little pieces. You don't want real big ones, and you don't want it diced, but you want smaller pieces.
We'll be back in a minute.
Now I'm going to put some olive oil in a little frying pan. Just a little bit. That's probably a tablespoon and a half. And I'm going to put, when it gets hot, you'll see it spread out good as it gets hot. I've got it on low. But then I'm going to saute the onions. And in the onions, I'm going to put a little garlic salt and some seasoning salt. When it starts cooking good, I'll come back and show you. You can see that it's beginning to cook, and it's I'm putting just a little bit of the garlic salt and some of this Tilapia Mama sauce. Well, actually, it's seasoning. It's Cajun, but it's the mild Cajun. It's not the real hot. When this cooks, then I'm going to add the pepper in there and put it into our, actually I'm going to do the zucchini and squash next. Right here, let me show you the size pieces that I cut already. You're just going to wedge your zucchini. You don't want them too thin, because if you get them too thin, they'll get mushy, and we do not like them mushy. But I'll put this in there in a minute. See? I cut up two small zucchinis and 1 squash is what I cut up. And the pepper, I made it smaller pieces. You want a nice sized piece, but you don't want a giant piece to put in your mouth. See? Okay, I'm going to take out half of these onions because I'm going to have to cook those squash in 2 different batches, because I want the onion flavor on all of it. So I'm going to put half of them in here. And then we'll do the rest of them in just a little bit. Now that we're back, we're going to make sure each piece is separated and start seasoning it just a little bit. If you can't have much salt, just use garlic instead of garlic salt. And just put whatever flavor you like on it. And we have to let it cook a little bit. And then guess what we're going to put on it? We're going to put oyster sauce. And then we're going to put hoisin sauce. You know, I was reluctant to use this when we first started, but it is so good. You would love it. You really would. All right, the first batch is done if you look, and I'm going to squeeze a little hoisin sauce in there. And then I'm going to put a little oyster sauce and take this up and do the next batch. We're doing extra because it's so good left over. And these raw vegetables are, I'm not raw, but these stir-fried vegetables are so good for you. Well, raw vegetables is good for you too, but I just...
They just taste better this way.
Look at it now, how it's looking. Don't that remind you of that Chinese restaurant a little bit?
A little bit.
Actually, I don't know how to cook Chinese, but I wish I did. But we're going to warm this up and pour it up and then start the next batch.
All right. We'll see you again.
Okay, all right, I've got the onions heated back up. I'm going to put the rest of the squash and the zucchini in there. And by the way, I took a fork and I got one little piece. I dropped it on the shirt. It was so worth it. So worth it. Put a little salt, garlic. If you have seasoning salt, use seasoning salt. I used, this is that Slap Your Mama, which is Cajun, but you don't have to do this. You can just use seasoning salt. Or Miss Dash, anything you got. I don't put a lot. Alright, our vegetables are crisp, tender. I'll put a little bit of salt, poison and a little bit of oyster sauce. My bottle's about empty. You put this together, toss it, get it good and hot. See how it sticks to the vegetables? And you're going to pour it on top of that. Now I'm ready to do the peppers. I'm going to put a little more olive oil. Just a little. Don't need much. Olive oil is healthy for you. And then you're going to put your vegetables, your peppers, the 3 colors. That one's too big. Let's pull it apart. Isn't that pretty?
Just gonna pan fry them.
And I'm putting a little garlic salt. I don't put much. And a little bit of this Slap Your Mama seasoning. But like I said, you use the seasoning salt. Perfect. Or just anything you really like. I made a little side salad that people can eat if they want it. Or when I say people, I'm saying my grandchildren or Matthew. Made some homemade Thousand Island dressing and some... I got it in a sour cream container, but I made some Hidden Valley Ranch dressing mix here. And that's available if anybody wants it. Alright, our fried peppers are almost ready. I'm going to put just a little bit of hoisin, just a little, because I've got plenty already on that. And just a dab of the oyster sauce. And then we're going to take and combine it with our vegetables. Sort of toss it a little bit. Come on over and let's eat, okay?
Hello, we are getting some tilapia here, ready to pan fried. Gonna be delicious. We're just getting them prepped. We're gonna put them out here and we're gonna add a little seasoning to them. We're gonna add a little Old Bay seasoning. Old Bay is delicious on everything,
It's good on
especially
hamburgers.
fish.
I didn't realize you could put it on hamburger, but you can.
Yep. Steaks, chicken.
What does it do to it? It just makes it, oops, the flavor.
I just like the profile. I'll do a little blackening. And when I blacken them up, I like to get it on there pretty thick. And then smoked paprika, you know me. And by little I mean a lot. Stay tuned, we're going to show you the rest of it. Alrighty folks, we're back. We're going to put a blob of butter in this pan to get it going. Let that sit right there. Then we're going to throw our seasonings back in there again. I put the seasoning in the pan so you don't have to physically do both sides of the fish.
Plus, for some reason, it just makes it taste better.
And don't be afraid when you're doing this to pick your pan up. Your pan doesn't always have to be touching. The only difference on this side, we're going to add some garlic salt for this butter. There we go. Now we're using tilapia. You can use any fish to do this.
Salmon would be good, wouldn't it?
Very good.
What is that?
Twist there.
Oh,
Little professional trick here. Just pour that butter sauce over it. Let it cook right through it.
this is the plate we're fixing, and this is going to be his sweet wife, Renita's. Look at that plate. Oh, don't that look good?
Finished product right here. Blackened tilapia. I think it's going to be pretty good. Excellent, if I do say so, and did so myself.
Let's just get a look at that plate there.
Come on down to South for your mouth, have some fun with the family. Sit right down and rest a little while, we'll have some coffee or tea. Come to the kitchen, we'll have some fun, we'll cook for our families. Come on down to South for your mouth, we'll treat you like a family. We'll treat you like our family.